how is, because you said that before, how is Waterworld a Western?
Well, so there's two parts to the writing process for me. Um, First is the concept. What's that like? That idea that really lights you up and says, "Oh my God, can't wait to sink my teeth into it." So, Mad Max on water. That was the idea there. But then the other one, and this is the much more devilish one, is what's the structure? What's the three acts? What's the story? You know, and when you're writing something on water, that's really challenging. Like, there's no geography. Like, where you go from point A to point B, what's point A and what's point B? Like, you got to make all that stuff up. And it's a boat floating over here? Then how does it make sense? And is it a coincidence? And there's lots of stuff that you got to think about. And another breakthrough for me was I suddenly remembered the movie Shane.
Yeah.
Remember Shane?
Of course.
Okay. Shane.
Yeah.
Homesteaders are trying to live peacefully on, the Wild West, and you got your bad guys, your pirates who want to take advantage of them. And here comes that, lone cowboy with a dark past that you don't want to talk about, you don't want to ask questions about, okay? He rides into town, Shane. He walks into that bar. You can tell he's killed a lot of guys, and the bad guys mess with him, and he decides to take side with the homesteaders. He fends off the pirates, and then he rides away. That's the structure of Waterworld. It's a Western.
Shane has been stolen so many times as far as structure is concerned. I mean, I think Joe Esterhaus did it for Nowhere to Run with Jean-Claude Van Damme. I remember that was Shane. Logan, as more recent, as they literally put Shane in the movie. Like, Logan's watching Shane. They're like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's Shane, guys. But it's with a mutant. Shane is such an amazing, that structure of that idea of that character of being the lone wolf who has a dark past, but yet he comes back towards the light by doing good, even though he might have killed God knows how many people in his past. Mm-hmm. He's such a powerful character. Why do you think that is? Why does that resonate so wonderfully with the audiences?
And I teach writing. My wife and I do a creative workshop, and one of the things that we talk about is the fall from grace moment. All stories, it's part of the human condition, fall from grace. I mean, the Garden of Eden, even your birth is a fall from grace in some ways. You were in the womb, it was all glorious, and
it was all good. We were warm, fed, everything was good. We had people loved us inside. I guess mom loved us.
So the question is, this is a really good exercise for writers, is think about the fall from grace for your principal character. It's where is it going to be in the movie structure, and what is the tone of the fall from grace? So for instance, in a broad comedy like a Jim Carrey movie, that fall from grace is front and center. It's in the first 10 minutes, and it's highly humiliating. It's like, oh my God, here I am with my pants down in a court of law or whatever. It's one of those moments, or Ben Stiller moments. It's a broad slapstick fall from grace, right? In film noir, or in sort of a darker, edgier movie, the fall from grace happens in the distant past, and it is never discussed. It's something that's not talked about. It's like the buried child from the Sam Shepard play. It's that thing that it's Chinatown. Chinatown is, Jake had a fall from grace in Chinatown. It's never discussed. And it haunts the movie. So that energy of that character, why is he so mean? Why is he so shut down? Why is he a loner? Well, he obviously has some stuff from his past that he doesn't want to talk about. In various drafts, we wrote those scenes, like the murder of his family and stuff like that. We just decided to take them out. It's much more interesting to not be discussed. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, because your imagination builds something else up. So that was the whole thing with ObiWan Kenobi and Star Wars, like this older Jedi, and he would just talk about certain things like the Clone Wars, and I had a student who killed your father, and then it turns out to be Darth Vader. Sorry, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen Star Wars. But that character was so powerful and had so much weight behind him purely because of all this stuff. And they even talked about it, gossiping. Like, oh, you don't want to go see Ben Kenobi? No, don't. No. It was really interesting. But you're right. That kind of, it's a very powerful character, a tool for your character is if you have this backstory. Specifically, a fall from grace is extremely powerful depending on your story. That drives the current narrative, like in Waterworld.